See, we are having now two chapters in direct taxes, and that is deductions of chapter 6A under section 80, and last chapter would be GTI, that is gross total income. Okay, now this is a very short chapter. We are going to complete in just a few minutes. Okay, and then we will begin with practical questions of GTI. Now see, this is the chapter that I've shared with you last night through Google Classroom. Please check and let me know if it is, I mean, visible properly. Okay. Now this deductions of chapter 6A under section 80. Now the there is a head of incomes. I hope you remember there are 5 heads of income. Income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession. We have capital gains, and fifth head is income from other sources. Now each head had their own deductions. Suppose you were doing salary. So from salary also you deducted, no? Few deductions were there, like entertainment, standard deduction, entertainment allowances, professional tax. From house property you were deducting municipal taxes. From business and profession we deduct expenses allowable. Okay, from capital gains we deduct the cost of acquisition, the cost of improvement, the cost of transfer. These are the expense. Cost means expenses, and expenses are always to be deducted from related incomes. And also same method we followed in other sources. Related expenses can be deducted from related incomes. Okay, so in each head we deducted few expenses related to each head. Okay, so related to each income. Now these deductions are common deductions. It is not related particularly to your salary, particularly to your house property income. It is not related to particular income. It is related to common. I mean, it is common. These are the common deductions we have. These are the common deductions we have, and these are the deductions that we deduct from GTI. What is GTI? Gross total income. Now suppose you are a person, an SSC, and you are liable to pay the tax. So before paying the tax, you will calculate your gross total income. Now what is the procedure of calculation of gross total income? Suppose you are earning from salary, you are earning from your business also. You have a business, okay, part-time business, part-time job, and you also have a house property which is on the rent. So you have three. Okay, you also have a bank account, fixed deposit account, and you earn interest out of that particular fixed deposit. So you have 4 types of incomes, no? 4 types of incomes you have. First is income from salary, part-time job, part-time business. You have a business also. You look after it in the evening, so you earn little out of that also. So income from business. You have a house that is rented out, so you earn from income from house property also. Okay, you have a fixed deposit in the bank account. Out of that, interest is there that you earn. So that is income from other sources. So you have 4 different heads from which you earn. The income is earned by you from 4 different heads. Okay, so you will calculate first what is your gross total income. Gross total income means a person earning from different heads. Okay, a person earning from different heads, and what is his total income? That is known as gross total income. Suppose you are earning from 4 heads, so you have to get total of all the 4 heads, and you have to see whether what is your total income. I mean, what is your total income, that you have to check. Okay, suppose your total income is rupees 3 lakhs. Suppose your total income is rupees 5 lakhs. and suppose your total income is 7 lakh. All together in all different situations, the tax rate will be different. 3 lakhs, you don't have to pay anything because, yes, it is up to 2 lakh 50, it is 0% tax. Okay, from 2 lakh 50 to 5 lakhs, you have 5%, like that way. So from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, you have uh, 20, 5, after 5 we have 20%, and above 10 lakhs we have 30% tax. But you remember, I already discussed this thing in first chapter, introduction chapter. We had a rebate wala thing. Rebate means the persons who earns income up to rupees 5 lakhs, their income will be exempted. So suppose your income is up to 5 lakh, you get a rebate of rupees 12,500. Okay, and then it is fully exempted. That means you don't have to pay any tax. We had discussed these things in chapter number 1, introduction, when we started with direct taxes. Anyways, that is not in your syllabus. We just discussed. What is in your syllabus is GTI, up to GTI. So what is GTI? Calculation of gross total income. And once you calculate your gross total income, you will be able to understand how many deductions you can avail of. So now from gross total income, you can deduct, you can have a benefit of deductions of section 80. Okay, so let us see how many deductions we have in our syllabus. See, there are so many deductions. So many deductions under section 80. See, this chapter is known as deductions under section 80 of chapter 6A. This is chapter 6A, means this is a chapter 6A, means it is according to Income Tax Act 1961. There is a chapter, there is a section made separately, and that section is named as chapter 6A of section 80. Mute, everybody mute please. There is little disturbance. Shifa, mute. Okay, so deductions of chapter 6A under section 80. Now see, it is deduction of section 80. So under section 80 we have so many deductions, n number of deductions are there. But in our syllabus, total 6 deductions are there. Only 6 deductions are there according to our syllabus. Okay, now let's see what are deductions. Deductions of section 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, 80D, etc. etc. means there are so many. These are the deductions allowable under Income Tax Act, which helps you reduce your taxable income. Why are deductions given to the person? Because it will help reduce their taxable income. Suppose your taxable income is 10 lakhs and you got deductions of section 80 rupees 3 lakhs. So out of 10 lakhs, 3 lakhs is deducted, no? So tax liability will also be reduced, because now income has reduced to 7 lakhs. 10 minus 3, 7 lakhs. If you don't have deductions, if you don't have this benefit, then your income would be 10 lakhs only. No deductions are availed. Then your income would be 10 lakhs. And on 10 lakhs, you will be paying taxes. Okay. If suppose there are deductions available, now deductions are available. You are getting the benefit of deductions under section 80. Suppose total deductions is 3 lakhs rupees. Suppose according to your income tax, according to your income slab, and according to your investments and whatever you have taken, investments or medical insurance premium, LIC, we will discuss later on what all types of deductions are there. So according to your scenario, we will decide how many deductions you can avail. Suppose your deductions are 3 lakhs. So out of 10 lakhs, 3 lakhs is deducted. So your income will definitely be reduced, no? So income will be reduced to 7 lakhs because 3 lakhs deductions is availed. So your income will be, tell me, your income will be reduced to 7 lakhs, right? So that means you will have to pay tax on 7 lakhs, not on 10 lakhs. This is the benefit that a person gets, okay, with the help of section 80. If you are availing the benefit of section 80, that means it is a benefit for you. How it is benefit for you? The income will be reduced and the tax burden will also be reduced. Deductions allowed under Income Tax Act helps you reduce your taxable income. You can avail the deductions only if you have made tax saving investments or incurred eligible expenses. See, you can avail deductions only if you have tax saving investment. That means tax saving investment means there are certain investments we will discuss now in ATC. There are certain investments, if you made investments there, only then you can avail deduction under section 80. Like 80C we have, or incurred eligible expenses like medical insurance premium, life insurance premium. The premium is your expense. So eligible expenses, if eligible expenses are there, only then you will get the deduction. There are number of deductions available. Number of deductions available means there are so many deductions under section 80, as I told you earlier. Under various sections, there are various sections: 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD, 80CC E, and then we have 80D, DD, E, U. There are so many deductions we will cover now. Only 6 we have in our syllabus that will bring down your taxable income. Your income will be reduced, and that is the benefit for you. Okay, the most popular one is section 80C of chapter 6A. This is most popular. 80C is most popular, the first section. 80C is most popular. Most probably everybody gets this deduction, 80C. Okay, other preferred deductions are also under section 80, also under chapter A 6A are 80C, 80CCC, 80D, 80DD, 80E and 80U. Getting my point? These are the 6 deductions that we want to do in this chapter, and so on. Why is this word used and so on? Because there are so many deductions, but we are going to cover these 6 deductions. If you count on fingers, these are 6. C, CCCC, sorry, CCC, D, we have double D, E and U. So these are the deductions, 6 types of deductions that is there in our syllabus. In this presentation, let us discuss some more important deductions under chapter 6A that a taxpayer can claim. Let us see one by one. First is section 80C. I told you this is most popular one. Most probably 99% every person gets 80C ka deduction. Now what is 80C? It is related to investments. Now not every type of investment will be given. No. Whatever investments are included in 80C, the deductions will be available. The deductions can be available. Whatever investments are listed in section 80C will be available. Otherwise, all type of investments cannot be taken into section 80C. No. Okay, there are so many investments. See, you don't have to remember those things, because remembering so many investments will be a difficult part, right? Common we will just discuss here. Okay, see, section 80C, you can avail a deduction of rupees 1.5 lakhs of your total income under section 80C. In simple terms, if I talk, you can reduce your income up to rupees 1,50,000 and tax burden will also be reduced. and it is available to only individuals and the HUFs. What are HUFs? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, Hindu Undivided.
Family business. Very good. Hindu undivided family business. So only to these persons, Section 80C is available. Not to companies, not to partnership firms, not to AOP, BOI, Body of Individual Association of Person, not to local authorities, municipal authorities. No, it is not available by them. It is not available for them. It is available only for individuals and HUFs. And the total deductions will be available up to rupees 1,50,000. That means the maximum amount that you can avail is 1,50,000, not more than that. Suppose your investment is 30,000 and the total deduction is available up to 1,50,000, whichever is less. Please remember, suppose your investments are rupees 30. So 30,000 or 1,50,000, whichever is less. Up to means maximum. Here up to word is very important. Up to means maximum. And maximum means more than 1,50,000 you cannot take the deduction. Gauri, please mute. Gauri. See, up to 1,50,000 means 1,50,000 is the last limit. After 1,50,000 you will not be able to take the deductions. Are you getting my point? Is it clear? Yes, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So suppose your investment is 30,000 and the maximum amount is 1,50,000. So you will have to see whichever is less. So what amount is the least one? Which amount is the least one? 30,000. So that will be deducted.
30,000, ma'am.
30,000 will be, yes, 30,000 will be deducted. Now suppose I take the reverse example. Reverse. Suppose your investments are 1,80,000. So you will have to check 1,80,000 or 1,50,000, whichever is less. So which amount is the least one? 1,80,000 or 1,50,000?
Ma'am, 1,50,000.
Yes. So 1,50,000 will be deducted from your income. Okay. So you have to see which amount is the least one. But see, 1,50,000 is the last deduction. After this amount, no deduction will be available. 80C, I'm talking about 80C. Okay. Now 80C investments. If it is related to investments, how many investments are there? So many, n number of investments are there. But we will discuss here a few which are common one. LIC. See, if you have paid excess taxes, but you have invested in LIC. LIC is Life Insurance Corporation. This is a government company from which you take insurance. If you take life insurance, you pay premium, no? So because you are paying premium, because you have invested your amount there in Life Insurance Corporation, you will get 80C ka deduction. You will get a benefit. Therefore, every person, see, तभी तो बोलते हैं, that is why it is said that you should take at least one life insurance policy from LIC. From LIC. From LIC means a government company. It is Life Insurance Corporation. There are private companies also, Bajaj, Birla Sun Life. You have Kotak Mahindra Life insurance policy. So you have so many private companies also. But I'm talking about government company, that is LIC. Okay, so benefit of taking LIC is you will get deductions under Section 80C. And your income will be reduced. I mean, you are earning income, but on that particular income that you earn, tax burden will be reduced. Income will not be reduced. Income is that much only. You are earning 10 lakhs rupees only. On 10 lakhs, you will be paying tax, no? Now, due to Section 80C, there is a benefit of reduction of tax burden. tax burden can be reduced. And on 10 lakhs, suppose 3 lakhs is the deduction. So on 7 lakhs, you will be paying tax, not on rupees 10 lakhs. This is the benefit of Section 80C. Okay. Now LIC, how many investments are there? See, let's see. LIC, RPF, Recognized Provident Fund, Statutory Provident Fund, Public Provident Fund, Mediclaim. See, we take Mediclaim, no? Medical insurance premium we pay, no? We take medical insurance and we pay medical insurance premium against that policy. If we have taken any Mediclaim, okay, and if your parents are studying in some school, and there you are paying tuition fees. Tuition fees is not that tuition fee, private tuition fee. No, in college, in schools also we pay tuition fees. No, you get a bill, you
Yes,
get a
ma'am.
receipt. Yeah, you get a receipt of what you pay to college. So in that, one amount is tuition fees. So that tuition fees can be deducted under Section 80C, because this is your expense, this is your investment. This is investment done in educational field, you know. Therefore it is a type of investment that you are doing for your children. Okay, and tuition fees can be deducted, can be availed under Section 80C. Home loan repayment, suppose you have taken a loan for your house, so that is also a type of investment. No, purchasing house is also a type of investment. Taking loan for house is also a type of investment. I know loan is my burden, loan is my liability, but that is also a type of investment only, because house property will be my investment. House will be my asset. Okay. And for asset, if I'm purchasing any loan, if I'm taking any type of loan, so that becomes my investment, future investment. Okay. So if you are repaying the amount of the loan, that amount of loan can also be deducted under Section 80C. NSC. What is NSC? What is NSC? National Savings Certificates. We had done in other sources also. If you invest in NSC, you get interest. See, interest is fully taxable in other sources. We have done in other sources. Interest on NSC, 8th issue, 9th issue, 7th issue. We have done. And those are taxable. Interest on NSC is taxable, no? We have done it. It is taxable under income from other sources. But the principal amount which is invested in NSC, the amount that is invested in NSC can be included in the deductions under Section 80C. Interest is taxable, but because you have invested in National Savings Certificate, it is related to government securities. Because you have invested in government securities, therefore the deduction under Section 80C is available. You will get a benefit of Section 80C. ELSS. Now what is ELSS? Equity linked saving schemes. Equity linked saving schemes. See, so many companies provide ELSS schemes. Okay, so you have to check terms and conditions whether Section 80C is there or not in that particular ELSS. Almost all ELSS have a clause of 80C. If you have a clause of 80C, invest in that ELSS and it is beneficial. Definitely it is beneficial for you. Why? Because deduction is available under Section 80C. No? So first point, it is benefit for you in terms of investment. Because you are investing, you will get interest in future. And second benefit is you can avail the deduction under Section 80C. That means your tax burden will be reduced. So there are two benefits together. Therefore, these are the investments that we were etc. means there are so many deductions. There are so many number of deductions. We cannot discuss each and every point here. Okay, because I'm just giving you an idea of what all investments are there through which we can avail Section 80C. Suppose you have filed income tax returns. In that you can show if if you have not claimed your deductions, in that you can show you have invested in LIC or RPF, SPF, you have PPF account, you have Mediclaim insurance, and you have paid for your children the tuition fees, you have loan repayment, home loan repayment, or ELSS. Any type of investment is there. You can show it in your income tax returns. Income tax returns are filed, and in that income tax returns, there is a benefit that is available for a person to claim deductions under section 80C, if so far you have invested your amounts in these investments which are stated under section 80C, which are in the purview of section 80C. Which are outside the purview of section 80C, you will not be able to have a benefit of 80C. Okay, did you get this much? So the maximum
Yes, ma'am.
amount, this can be asked in MCQs, huh? The maximum amount that can be deducted under section 80C. So what would be the correct answer? Can you tell me?
Ma'am, 1,50,000.
Yes, rupees 1,50,000. Because I am asking the maximum amount. The maximum means after 1,50,000 you will not be able to get the deduction. Your investments are 8 lakhs. I agree your investments are 8 lakhs. And inside the purview of 80C, you have some portion, some investment in LIC, some investments in PPF, some investments in medical claim. Total you have 8 lakhs rupees. All are in the purview of 80C. But 8 lakhs ka 8 lakhs will not be deducted. Only 8 lakhs or 1,50,000, whichever is less. So which amount is the least one? 1,50,000 definitely. So only 1,50,000 will be deducted, not rupees 8 lakhs. Government will not give you all the deductions, no? Otherwise, what will be the tax to the government? How will government earn the tax if they are giving you full deductions? Okay, so deductions are also available up to a certain limits. Up to certain limits. Okay, is it clear, everybody? Is this point clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see next one. Section 80CCC. See, now it is it is also related to your investment. Of course, it is a type of investment. Therefore, it is CCC. It is related to C. C means investment. Now 3 times C means this also is related to investment. Now suppose you have taken a life insurance policy. With that life insurance policy, there is an annuity plan attached. There is an annuity plan. Now what is annuity plan? It is a pension plan. For that pension plan, you are paying premium, insurance premium on a pension plan. That means, suppose if you are taking a life insurance policy, and nowadays, with life insurance policy, you get a pension plan. Now, what is that pension plan? Suppose the maturity comes. Now, LIC, suppose you are taking 30 years ka LIC policy, 30 years. Now, maturity period has come. After 30 years, you will receive lump sum amount on the maturity period, no? Out of that policy. Okay, so what happens there? What happens if after 30 years you are getting retired? Suppose if after 30 years you are getting retired, now that lump sum amount will be converted to annuity plan because it was included. Annuity plan means and pension plan, annuity, annually. So now that lump sum amount will not be given to you. Every month pension will be given to you, or every 6 monthly pension will be given to you, or annuity will be given. Annuity means annual amount. Every year the amount will be given to you. Okay, instead of lump sum amount, a type of pension will be given to you. Okay, so this is the benefit. If suppose you are taking life insurance policy with the pension plan, and you are paying premium for that. So with this particular, this is also a type of investment for your future retirement period, no? It is a type of investment only, but it is given in the different section, and it is section 80 CCC. Same. The maximum amount of deduction which is available under this section is rupees 1,50,000. Okay, same. But it should be related to your pension plan. See, the word pension is very important. Deduction for the premium. Now, deductions will be available for the premium, not for the amount that you have invested. The deduction will be available for the premium that you pay to the company. Okay, section 80 CCC provides a deduction to an individual for any amount paid or deposited in an annuity plan of LIC. It should be annuity plan of the LIC or with any other insurer. The plan must be receiving a pension. From that plan, you will be receiving pension from the fund referred to in section. Anyways, you don't have to remember the section, but here if it is written, let us read out. This is section as per the section 10, subsection 23 AAB. Pension received from annuity or amount received upon the surrender of the annuity. Suppose in between, before the maturity period, you are surrendering the annuity plan, you will receive the pension, no? So that amount of pension, because you are receiving that amount of pension, therefore it was, I mean, it was included, no? Pension plan was included, therefore you are receiving pension on the surrender of the policy. Okay, so including interest or bonus, whatever amount you receive, interest, bonus, accrued on annuity, it is taxable in the year of receipt. Of course, it is taxable. But deductions will also be given under section 80 CCC, and the maximum deduction will be available under this section is also rupees 1,50,000. Same. 1,50,000 in 80C and 1,50,000 in 80 CCC. But remember, together if we see together, suppose you have invested in LIC, RPF, PPF, ELSS, okay, and the total deductions are 80,000. Total 80 deduction, according to 80C, the total deductions are 80,000, suppose. And here, according to section 80 CCC, the total deduction is rupees, suppose 90,000. Suppose 90,000, huh? So we have to combine these two deductions. 80C plus 80CCC should not exceed rupees 1,50,000. That means 80C 80,000, 80CCC 90,000 according to our example. What is the total? 80 plus 90. What are the total investments? What are the total investments? 80 plus 90. My total investments are 1,70,000 now.
1,70,000.
Yes, 1,70,000. So you will say, ma'am, 1,70,000 can be deducted. No, I will say no. You will say, ma'am, 1,50,000 from 80C plus 1,50,000 from 80CCC. Mean 3 lakhs deductions are available. Up to 3 lakhs we have option, no? No. No, we don't have up to 3 lakhs. Together if we take 80C plus 80CCC, it is always taken together. And together it is up to 1,50,000. Together. It is not separately 1,50,000 which is given. Yes, if you have not invested anything in section 80C, if you have not taken any such investments which are stated in section 80C, and you have taken only 80CCC, then rupees 1,50,000 can be taken as the deduction. My point is to explain 80C plus 80CCC cannot exceed the maximum deduction of rupees 1,50,000. Cannot exceed rupees 1,50,000. Now, according to our example, it was 80 plus 90. 80,000 as per section 80C, 90,000 as per section 80 CCC. What is the total of my investments? My investments are 1,70,000. But together, I am taking together. And always the rule is to take together. 80C plus 80CCC always taken together. So together I have 1,70,000.